We're skipping the basic biology lesson and getting right down to the unit economics, the capital expenditures, and the regulatory frameworks you actually need to launch and scale. We're going to objectively evaluate everything from lean startup mobile units all the way up to multi-million-dollar in-house rapid labs.
All right, Section 1, the DNA testing business model. Let's define the specific entry points, from mobile collection up to rapid diagnostics.
The great thing here is that you're not forced into just one single path. There's really a tiered investment spectrum with 3 primary business architectures. First up, you have mobile specimen collection, where practitioners actually travel to clients to get buccal swabs or blood draws. Second, there are collection clinics. These are your standard brick-and-mortar facilities that gather samples but don't do the testing themselves. And third, you have rapid DNA diagnostic labs. Now, this divide is absolutely crucial to understand. The first 2 models simply collect the sample and secure the legal chain of custody, while the third model does the high-complexity forensic analysis completely in-house. So why deploy capital into this space at all? Well, to put it into perspective, by 2034, the global DNA test kit sector is projected to hit a massive $7.78 billion. That is being driven by an impressive 17.04% compound annual growth rate. The macro demand is absolutely surging right now, heavily fueled by increasing legal requirements for biological verification and forensic modernization. So that's the macro view. Let's zoom in and look at the actual unit economics. This video contains affiliate links. I have a relationship with the brands in this video and earn a referral fee when you shop through the links in the description below. Before we dive into securing lab partnerships, let's talk about your legal shield. You absolutely cannot start a DNA testing business in the US without a properly structured LLC. You're handling sensitive genetic data and strict HIPAA regulations. The liability risk is massive. Most people try to launch as a sole proprietor, and that's exactly why a single lawsuit over a privacy breach or sample error could cost them their home and savings. Your business must be a separate legal entity to protect your personal wealth. That's where Busy comes in. Busy is the absolute best formation service for high-liability industries, handling your entire LLC setup for $0 plus state fees. They take care of the heavy lifting, filing your articles of organization, providing your registered agent, and securing your EIN. This is non-negotiable if you want to build a trusted brand. Check the link in the description for my full Busy review. And use my link to get your business registered today with exclusive discounts and perks. Get your protection handled first. Moving to Section 2, core specifications and steps. We'll look at capital expenditures, operating steps, and regulatory requirements. Let's break down the strict operational blueprints and the chronological steps you have to take to get operations off the ground. First, you need to establish your legal structure and validate your state licensing, which, by the way, can vary wildly depending on where you are. Second, and this is totally mandatory if you're just collecting samples, you have to secure a partnership with an AABB-accredited reference lab and pass their competency verifications. Third, you procure your equipment, which can be anything from simple buccal swabs to massive high-throughput analyzers. And finally, you have to fund your operational working capital to make sure you survive that initial ramp-up phase. Now, the contrast in capital expenditure here is literally night and day. Just look at the columns. For a mobile collection unit, your initial capex is just $5,000 to $12,000, with pretty minimal working capital needed. But if you want to launch a rapid diagnostic lab, you are looking at a heavy initial capex of $4.3 to $4.7 million. The high-throughput rapid analyzers alone will run you about $1.5 million. Plus, you'll need a $1.3 million liquid cash buffer just to survive the initial operational burn rate. The barrier to entry for the lab model is no joke. And hey, if you want to push that mobile model to the absolute extreme, consider the portable DNA fleet model. This involves deploying decentralized rapid analysis devices directly into the field across multiple vehicles. But to fund that 26-month path to profitability, the projected working capital runway you need is an astonishing $116 million. The operational risk of trying to scale specialized personnel and decentralized tech at the exact same time is just incredibly high. But here is the catch. Regardless of your scale, compliance is your baseline. At the federal level, CLIA governs any facility performing the actual analysis, and HIPAA obviously protects the data. But the state level is where things get highly restrictive.
Take California's Genetic Information Privacy Act, or GIPA. It mandates separate express consent for the primary use, storage, and any secondary uses of genetic data. And in New York, the Clinical Laboratory Evaluation Program demands distinct single-use permits if you're offering a novel assay that isn't fully approved yet. You literally cannot cut corners here. Section 3, real-world use cases. Let's talk about where these business models deploy and generate revenue. Let's look at the specific high-margin field applications where these businesses actually operate. Now, consumer ancestry testing gets all the mainstream headlines, but the really lucrative, sustainable margins reside in legally binding verification. Your primary revenue generators are family law for things like court-ordered paternity, border and immigration for visa and asylum verification, and law enforcement for booking station profiles and cold cases. You also have disaster victim identification, which provides episodic but absolutely critical demand. And finally, there's the affiliate or reseller model, allowing you to white label existing lab services. So how does this actually translate into practical field performance? Well, the workflows are completely different. The mobile collection workflow is purely about precision in the field. It's about collecting the buccal swab and flawlessly documenting that legal chain of custody before sending it off. On the flip side, the rapid DNA workflow is all about speed and throughput. We're talking fully automated, sample-to-profile instruments sitting right there on site that can spit out forensic results in under 90 minutes. All right, Section 4, honest pros and cons. Let's evaluate the financial and operational reality.
We've seen the specs, so now let's objectively balance the risk against the reward based strictly on the data. This whole industry really comes down to this tension. On the pro side, the gross margins are amazing, up to 88% for rapid labs. That can lead to potential year-one EBITDA projections of around $17 million. Reseller models are also great, offering 30 to 60% wholesale discounts, but you have to weigh that against the cons. You're facing a severe regulatory burden, a crushing initial capital burn rate, really steep equipment depreciation, and an ongoing compliance cost of roughly $3,000 a month. If you fail compliance, your revenue drops to zero instantly.
Let's say you do deploy the $4.3 million plus for a rapid DNA diagnostic lab. Your projected payback period is 19 months. Sounds great, right? But, and this is a massive but, achieving that 19-month payback requires optimizing your case flow and driving your lab utilization rates up from a baseline of 60% all the way to 90%. If those highly expensive instruments are sitting idle, they will absolutely destroy your margins. Now, if you're thinking, I want no part of that heavy CapEx, the reseller model is a huge operational pro. By partnering with an accredited center, resellers can access lab services at 30 to 60% below retail. This is a game changer because it allows you to focus purely on client acquisition and marketing. You get to capture the margin without ever carrying the burden of laboratory overhead or stressing about equipment depreciation. Finally, Section 5, final investment verdict. Our strategic takeaways for entry into the DNA testing market. Let's distill everything we've talked about into a final assessment. It really all boils down to this strict calculus. Which model fits your available liquidity and your actual capacity to manage regulatory compliance? If you only have $10,000, you're looking at being a mobile collector securing chains of custody. But if you have $5 million and a team of molecular biologists ready to go, you are looking at a rapid diagnostic lab. There's a great quote from industry experts that really hits the nail on the head. Focus on a niche that aligns with your expertise. The DNA testing field is vast, and specialization can set you apart from competitors. This definitely isn't an industry for generalized, one-size-fits-all services. You absolutely must target high-margin, legal, forensic, or immigration workflows if you want to sustain profitability.
So, what is the final takeaway? Scale to your capital. If you want to minimize burn, start lean with a mobile collection unit. If you're properly funded, go ahead and deploy the heavy CapEx for rapid diagnostics to capture those huge 88% margins. But whatever you do, never ever compromise on compliance. In the DNA testing business, your chain of custody and your regulatory adherence are your actual product. Without them, you literally have nothing to sell. So, what level of operational rigor are you truly prepared to maintain? Think on that. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.